Today we're in Cookeville, Tennessee to participate in the 2011 Reebok CrossFit Games Open. Over 26,000 athletes from 59 countries are competing to see who will go to California and fight it out for the title of fittest on earth and $250,000 in prize money. And today I'm working out alongside one of the best, Rich Froning. I was a former athlete who thought my best days were behind me. Fad diets and gimmicks left me 30 and miserable. Now I'm in my 40s and in the best shape of my life. How's that possible? I found out the truth about fitness. Fitness Truth is presented by Reverie.
Judges ready. And then 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
So today we're going to Cookeville, Tennessee. Now you can compete in these competitions weekly, anywhere you like. But today we've been invited to go and work out with Rich Froning. Now Rich Froning was second place in the Reebok CrossFit Games last year, so that means he's the second fittest person on the planet. So to work out with him today is going to be something really special. I'm really looking forward to it. So we're going to go up to Cookeville and we're going to work out alongside of Rich, but we're also going to meet other athletes, Mike McGoldrick, Jessica Pomanian, and a local CrossFit hopeful, Emily Griffin. And we're going to do this workout alongside these athletes, and maybe it'll elevate our intensity and our results a little bit higher. This looks awesome. This place is awesome. It's like a dream weight room.
Rich, how's it going? What's up, man? I'm rolling. Stretching. How are you? Yeah, man.
So Coach Pugh and Rich have been inviting athletes to these Friday night throwdowns at their facility for the length of the CrossFit Games Open. And tonight, we're going to work out alongside some of the best.
Our affiliate, which is CrossFit Cookeville, and as well as other local CrossFitters. Some others have been coming into town, all getting together about 5 o'clock, 5:30, start congregating. They warm up, get going, and we've even got a good spectating crowd coming in too. My athletes here at Tech, some people here in the community. So it'll be pretty live here in a little bit. They'll gather around and we'll get after it and running heats until we're done. You want me to, I'll show you around the place.
Yeah, absolutely.
They let us put the CrossFit banner up there. This is kind of like our CrossFit gym. You know, we've got our ring, got our GHDs, got 12 rowers. This was an original box that we designed. It's got 2 sections, but it's 24 inches when it's together. When you bring it out, it's got these legs. That's a 12-inch box now. I told him I wanted a rack that we could put a chin-up bar in the front, a chin-up bar in the back, and connect each rack with a chin-up bar. On the back side here is a straight bar.
Right.
So we've got 3 spots you can do a chin-up at every rack, and there's 22 racks in here. So that's, 66 spots. This is home of Rich Froning, that's right. So he gets after it here. Rich gets here every morning. Trains our first class first thing in the morning around 7. We have some athletes that train at 6, and then Rich trains that group, and then he begins his day of workouts.
My name is Rich Froning. I'm the assistant strength coach at Tennessee Tech. We're in our 10,000 square foot weight room.
Transition time relatively short. Didn't waste any time on that.
Been doing CrossFit about 2 years. In June. Started doing it, actually the head strength coach here taught a class called Training for Performance, and I was an exercise science major, so I was taking the class. He told me about CrossFit, so I went and got my level 1, started doing it at my dad's barn, and then kind of here we are today, I guess. So yeah, this has changed my life in ways that I would never even imagine. I end up qualifying for the games last year through the sectional and the regional, and then made it to the CrossFit Games last year and got second place.
And that was it. And there's Rich Froning getting it.
and he should go down hand over hand. Both these guys collapsing in a heap.
Incredible programming. The crowd has not been disappointed. They're letting these athletes know it.
I definitely noticed a difference with Progenics. The biggest things I noticed was, one, I wasn't quite as sore the next day, and I just felt more fresh for the next workout. And it just makes your next workout more productive, because you're not just running through mud, but actually doing what your body can do. I'm Chris Spieler, and I am Progenics.
Like Fitness Truth on Facebook to see our daily workouts, great articles and photos. Post your own scores and chart your progress so that we can cheer you on as you reach your goals. It's not just another Facebook page, it's a lifestyle. Today, what we have is a 10-minute time cap, which is called an AMRAP. AMRAP stands for as many rounds or reps as possible. So we have a 10-minute time frame, and in that time, we are to complete 60 bar-facing burpees, 30 overhead squats, and 10 muscle-ups. And that would constitute one round. If you have time remaining, you can go back and start over on the burpees and complete as many as possible all the way through. Maybe you can complete 2 rounds. So when I first saw this workout on the internet, I looked at it and I thought, you know, this is pretty good. This has a lot of my strengths there. And a lot of people don't like the burpee. I kind of like it, and for a long time I considered it to be the foundation of my fitness. And the burpee is something that you can do anywhere. So while I was traveling, I would do a tremendous amount of burpees. So 60 burpees, that's fine for me. I kind of like that. So I felt like I could hold my own on the burpees. They throw the curveball of this bar facing burpee at us, and that'll change things a little bit, but not too much. A bar facing burpee is something that really nobody had ever seen before. And what it means is that the barbell will be on the ground and you are facing the barbell. You have to drop to your chest and do a standard burpee, clap overhead, and then jump over the bar, land on 2 feet, turn around, and do another burpee. So that would be 2 reps, and you jump over the bar for all 60 reps. Now when there are 26,000 athletes competing, there's going to be a lot of ties. So every rep is incredibly important, and on the first 3 workouts I've seen just exactly how important that is. One more rep might elevate you in the standings 300, 400 places. I was really fighting to get back to the burpees, finish up the overhead squat, get back to the burpees, and complete as many of those reps as possible.
Mike McGoldrick from CrossFit Memphis, Team Faction. Rich is a good buddy of mine, and you know, as you know, he's a pretty good athlete, so any opportunity I have to train with him, try and take advantage of it. I've been CrossFitting for about 2 years now, so played ice hockey for like 10 years, had some shoulder injuries, and had to hang them up, and still like to train and work out and stuff, and started running, and then one day I realized that just running wasn't doing it. I still like to strength train, and stumbled across CrossFit at a Velocity gym actually, and went in, you know, basic story for everyone, did Fran, puked, loved it, and been hooked ever since. I coach on Saturdays, only 1 day a week, and occasionally throughout the week, but that's not my career. Last year I placed 3rd at our sectional in the Tennessee, Alabama, Mississippi, and placed 17th at the Southeast Regional. It's scalable upon all levels. My mother, she just started. She's come a long way. She kind of had the similar route as me. She's always liked fitness and always wanted that challenge, but couldn't really, you know, figure out what it was exactly. You know, she didn't want to be a pro athlete or nothing, but she runs, and she runs just to be faster. You know, not because she knows she's going to be, you know, one of the top runners in the city or anything, but she found CrossFit. I finally told her to come out and try it out, and she's just like the running, she's just competitive in nature, and it just brings the best out of people.
So I really felt like, you know, I was going to be able to hold my own, and as it turned out, I was able to stay with Rich Froning right up into the 50s of the burpees, and then he kind of slipped ahead. Now the second movement is the overhead squat, and while I'm pretty good at overhead squats, and I do consider it one of my strengths, I knew that with all the jumping that we were having to do with the burpees, my legs were going to be fried, and I was exactly right, because when I went to do an overhead squat, as I went down, I got in my snatch position, I picked it up, and I was going to go into a full squat, which would be the first rep, but my legs were fried, and I almost dropped the bar, which cost me a lot of time. At the same time, Rich Froning goes right into his full squat snatch, and then starts turning out these overhead squats one after another and finishes unbroken. He got well ahead of all of us on that movement because he is so strong. So while Rich is powering through the overhead squat, I'm struggling. The first rep was really hard for me. I got stuck in the bottom, I get up to the top, and then I start to complete the overhead squats. I'm feeling a little bit better, I'm getting my balance and coordination back, my legs are feeling a little bit better, but I was right on the gray area. As I was going down and descending, the rule stated that your hip needed to pass below your knee as you're in the overhead squat position for a good rep. Now, we all have judges, and I had a judge right next to me watching very closely to see that my hip was going below my knee. And, you know, while I was trying my hardest, there were a couple of times where I got called for a no rep.
Yeah, I played baseball all growing up. Junior year of high school, they asked me to try to get me to play football, so I played. Ended up dislocating my shoulder the first game. Rehabbed it back. They told me I'd probably have to have shoulder surgery. Didn't want to do that because I was baseball, and had dislocated probably 10 more times. So had to have surgery. Played a little bit of baseball in college, decided college baseball wasn't my thing. Came back here and then worked at the fire department while I went to tech and got my undergraduate. Physically, the movements are safe, they're perfect. I mean, it's real life stuff. You're made to do this stuff. But I think psychologically it does a lot more. That's where you see a lot of the benefit. People just don't push if you do a normal workout program. You just run on the treadmill. You're not going to push yourself as hard as you would if you're competing with other people. You know, people's egos get in the way in this stuff, and you're going to push a lot harder than you would normally. So I think that's one of the keys is the competition. We've got a pretty good little rivalry between people. You know, people pick out other people that are on their level. You know, some people know they're never going to get to. We got, you know, some fire breathers they're never going to reach that status, but there's other people they can kind of compete with. So, you know, they may not compete with everyone, but they've got their own little matchup that they're like, hey, I'm going to beat this person, or hey, you know, I got to beat this person. So, no telling what the future holds. I was telling people the other day, I never would have saw a year ago. If you would have asked me what I'd be doing now, I'd have told you I have no idea. I would have never thought this would be what I was doing. So, we'll see. It'll be fun.
Wow, finished. He did finish. He's got to get over the rope. He's got to get over the rope. He's got 15 seconds in which to do that.
He's got 10 seconds.
10 seconds. Oh, he finishes the workout. So he'll take first.
You know, while I was trying my hardest, there were a couple of times where I got called for a no rep. Now, a no rep is something that I expect because I'm trying to go as fast as I possibly can, but I'm also, you know, getting fatigued. And as you're trying to go fast and you're getting fatigued, you stay right on the edge of what constitutes a good rep. So I got called for a couple of bad reps. I expected it. I didn't get frustrated. I just kept pushing on and trying to maintain the depth in my squat. Rich Froning, on the other hand, Mike McGoldrick, those guys were getting called for 0 bad reps, so that saves a tremendous amount of time. They have 30 overhead squats. They complete 30 overhead squats. For me, in order to get 30 overhead squats, I had to complete maybe 34, 35 when you put in the bad reps and the ones that I was called for. When I get to my last overhead squat, I am really looking forward to putting that bar down because I'm glancing over at the clock and I see that I'm well ahead of the schedule that I was on when I tried this workout before. So I know that I have time to complete the muscle ups and then get back to the burpees, which was my goal tonight. I wanted to get back on those burpees. I'm good at burpees and I wanted to make sure that I got as many as possible. I'm finished with my overhead squats. I'm really excited, but I'm also fatigued. 60 burpees, 30 overhead squats, that'll wear you out. That's a pretty good workout in itself. But I do know that I have plenty of time to complete the muscle up. The muscle up is not my strongest movement, but it is something that I'm okay with. Now, Rich Froning, Mike McGoldrick, they are turning these muscle ups out as fast as you can imagine, and they're stringing them together one after another. For an athlete to be able to string together 10 muscle ups or even 5 muscle ups, that saves a tremendous amount of time. Here's another place where Rich Froning was able to leave the rest of us behind because he could string them together. The reason he's able to string them together is because he is strong, he has incredible stamina, endurance. You know, his work capacity is way up there. He is an incredible athlete, and it showed in this portion of the workout because he is as fresh as maybe I might be before I even started the workout. As I'm moving on to the muscle ups, Rich has already finished his muscle ups and is powering through as many burpees as he can. And, you know, it looks like not only is he going to power through a lot of them, but he's going to finish this and move on to another portion of the workout. So on my muscle ups, I'm feeling pretty good about them and I'm feeling pretty strong, but I'm doing them one at a time. One at a time is a lot slower than being able to string them together like Mike and Rich are doing. So they start to pull ahead of me there. I'm going to finish my muscle ups, but I run into a problem. So in my haste to get down from the rings and do another one, I'm not reaching full extension with my elbows and I get called for a couple of no reps. This was tough because, you know, every time that I have to go back and do a muscle up rep, that's probably 3 or 4 burpees that I'm not able to complete if, you know, it chews up a lot of time.
I definitely noticed a difference with Progenics. The biggest things I noticed was, one, I wasn't quite as sore the next day, and I just felt more fresh for the next workout. And it just makes your next workout more productive because you're not just running through mud, but actually doing what your body can do. I'm Chris Spieler, and I am Progenics.
What time are you getting up?
Getting up 6:15. Come in here, teach CrossFit class. When I get done with that, I row a little bit, row some intervals, row distance, just depends. Do some strength work, run some errands, come back, do some training, either Metcon or anything like that. And then evening, some skill work practice, maybe another Metcon, maybe a mixture of both. So pretty high volume, but.
So what time are you getting home?
I get home probably 7, 8 o'clock. I think sometimes I lack eating enough calories. I try to eat a lot of paleo kits just because it's they're easy to have. A lot of beef jerky, a lot of tuna, stuff like that. It's just real hard to eat throughout the day, to be honest. It's not paleo, it's not zone, it's more of a eat clean, try to balance out, minimize the excess sugars. Try to stay away from as much processed stuff as you can. Shop around the outside of the grocery store, like most people say. Organic, I don't really eat much organic just because it's expensive and I'm on a tighter budget, but eat meats, vegetables, some fruit, the CrossFit motto. So, meats, vegetables, nuts, seeds, some fruit, little starch, no sugar.
Enjoying those videos.
Hey, thanks. You did a good job on that.
We do the sectional WOD every weekend at our gym, regardless of who's competing or not. So that's what's great about it is you're always competing against yourself, not necessarily getting on the board and looking at the top times. You're thinking, okay, I have this goal, this is where I want to get, and you get there, and that's the most satisfaction I see that people get out of it. The confidence it gives you. Any physical challenge now, without hesitation, I'm like, I know I can do that. And I'm not scared to fail, because how many times have you run into a WOD that you started and you're like, I don't know if I'm gonna make it through this, but you keep battling and you do, and that gives you some great confidence, and not just physical things in life, but for everything that you run into.
So finally, I get through with the muscle ups. I look over and I can see that Rich Froning, he's already on the overhead squat. So I am just really floored that he's got that kind of work capacity. So at the end, I completed 14 burpees. So that was one full round and 14 burpees. I know that each one of those burpees elevated me several hundred places in the CrossFit Open, and I'm hoping that I'm able to, place well in this. I felt good about my performance, despite where it's going to leave me on the board. It was fun. I got to hang out with Rich Froning, Mike McGoldrick, Jessica Pomanian. The CrossFit community is really amazing that way, that athletes of every skill level really have a lot of common interest. And as I get to meet these guys, and they're just great guys, they're willing to help, they're fun to hang out with, and getting to see what they can accomplish is really amazing.
Rich, good. I got 12 burpees. Attaboy. What'd you do? 60 burpees, 7 overhead squats. Yeah. Awesome. Good job.
Burpees just make you dizzy.
Did you do them? Did you rest at all, or just straight?
Straight. I mean, I went unbroken on the overhead squat. Didn't rest on me in the burpee. I didn't go fast, but
decent pace. I looked down there. I think I was on 56, and you were just picking up the bar, and I felt like I knew that if I was on that pace, I was doing good. Yeah. Because the first time I went out way too fast. Yeah. 15 rest, 15 rest, 15 rest.
Those burpees, you don't gain any speed on.
Right. That's the thing. And there's not. It's a pleasure to work out with you.
You too, brother. Like I said, come by.
Hey, in Chattanooga, the same way.